Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. I have been waiting to do this with you guys. It's been a minute. We've been waiting on an update. Well, guess what? We've got updates, and there's also a new lawsuit, believe it or not, or a new complaint that she has filed. So I can't wait to go through that with you all. I did close. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something just at the beginning for a moment. One of the chatters here, you guys will probably remember True Crime Crazy. She's in the hospital, and I know a lot of you guys knew she had a lot of health issues and stuff like that, and she hasn't been here for a little bit, but she's in the hospital, and she has a couple brain bleeds, and she's unresponsive, and right now they're just kind of keeping her comfortable kind of thing. So I know that she really appreciated you guys, and Claus and her were very close as well, and a couple other people. So I just wanted to take a moment and send all my love and support, and you guys can send prayers or love or whatever to her family, because I'm thinking about them. Whew. It's a tough time for them. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that first and foremost before we got into anything. But I don't really think there's much they can do, Lil Red. So, it's kind of just at that point. So all the purple, her favorite color was purple. Claus wanted me to let you guys know you could use a purple heart just as a little symbol of love and support for her and her family. So Letecia, Jen, actually, I sent you the link. I know I said we could read through them first, but honestly, I thought instead of reading start to finish, we could kind of jump through them. We already know many of the details, and I don't want to be repetitive, but we have a couple new filings. We have some orders. We have a new lawsuit. We have a lot to go through. Letecia has not stopped. We know she had the lawsuit in Colorado. And this lawsuit, there's a new complaint. I didn't see a lawsuit specifically towards the prison in Colorado, but, well, I guess would that be? I know El Paso jail. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to going through that with you guys. Let me say hello to you, and we'll wait on Jen and get started and kind of look through what we've got. Thank you, guys. It's so sad. So sad. Remember that beautiful blanket she made for Bentley? I showed you guys a while back. It was like maybe a year ago. But she was like big into the Tisha stuff with us, and followed the trials and many of the other cases and stuff too. Quentin. So... Hey, Trulia. Hey, Neat. Hey, Adrian. Hey, Shauna. Iffy. Curious Christine. Hey, Nene. Hey, Gammy. Mark. Good to see you, Mark. It's been a minute. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Emily. Kim. Petunia. My Bindi. Hey, Marianne. Jan. Lariah. Hey, Christina. And it's so sad, Emily. It really is. Right before the holidays, man. Hey, Danny. Teacup. Jennifer, Bogart, hey, Grammy Nini. Hey, it's not rocket science, dude. Kimberly, Danny, NC, Callie. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Nurse Kristen. Happy to see you guys. Hey, Jen.
Hey, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Sad news.
I know. It's sad. It's so sad.
Her poor family.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know her sister was like, she has watched before. And for the people that cared about her and stuff, I just wanted to mention it in the beginning, but I don't want to like dwell on it too much either out of respect for them. So I don't know.
I see that you've already got your Christmas avatar out. It's November. We ain't even got to Thanksgiving yet. You just skipped right to Christmas.
I know. As soon as Halloween was over, I couldn't wait to use that again because it was so cute. And so I was like, well, who cares about Thanksgiving? I'll just
Thanksgiving, schmanksgiving.
yeah. Yeah. What are you up to this evening, Bendy?
Putting the finishing touches on the next part of the Conjuring thing that I was doing, and then I have something else that I'm working on as well that is not scary or Conjuring related. It's not that it's not scary, but it's not Conjuring related. So there you go.
Oh, awesome. Well, I can't wait to see it. I thought you did a great job on that part 1.
Oh, thank you.
I can't wait to show you this. I think you're going to really get a kick out of this. But just before we get started, I wanted to mention, so I placed an order with Nay, and I want to show you guys when it gets here. But it hasn't got here yet. But I still wanted to mention to you that she has all of her fall scents that sold out back on the website. So I know many of you guys really love those, and they were sold out for a little bit. So I wanted to mention that to you guys. So yeah, go check them out.
Absolutely. Nay has the best wax melts on the planet. Hands down. Don't care. It's true.
Fight me.
That's right.
Okay. So I got really thrown off for a second. I was thinking this new lawsuit was her attorney, because we know that she has an appellate attorney in Colorado. But It's not. His name just for some reason reminded me of it. But okay, so let me share my screen. I'm going to show you what we got.
Okay.
Casey May, thank you for being a member for 14 months. Love you back. And Samantha, thank you for joining. Thank you guys. That's super sweet. Thought I missed it and it was old. When I went to share a screen, I did something. Oh, I did the start accidentally. But I didn't miss them. They're not old.
Okay, good.
From the beginning of the live or something, and I overlooked it. But
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is the new thing. This is the new complaint, and these are 2 new people. And I double checked. I just exited out of it, but I double checked the Martinez report, and every plaintiff to make sure they are new people. But before we get to that, there was an order in her original case, and that's what this is. So instead of reading through every single paragraph, because a lot of it we know, maybe I'll just look at it and get the gist of it and read the findings basically at the end of each paragraph for each count. You know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah, that's a good idea, because all that is going to do in the beginning is it just gives the case history, all the things that have happened in this thing. What we really want to read, we know what happened. Lies on lies on lies. No evidence. Shenanigans. Things that happened but were greatly exaggerated. You know, so I mean, do we really need to go through that again? No. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes.
Exactly. She filed this, has a ton of different defendants. They dismissed part of it. We waited forever for the Martinez report. We got that. And the following, the Martinez report was filed, and the court entered a memorandum and order finding the following claims survived screening: her 8th Amendment claim in count 2 based on SA, and her corresponding claim that staff failed to protect her from her abuser; her First Amendment claim in count 3, alleging a violation of the free exercise clause. The court found that all other remaining claims were subject to dismissal and ordered the plaintiff to show good cause at why these claims should not be dismissed. So this is a matter before the court on her response. Remember, the last thing we read through was her handwritten response.
Her handwritten gibberish disguised as a response. Yes, correct. Okay. I remember now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So plaintiff names the following remaining defendants: the Secretary of Corrections, I don't have to name each one, but they are public figures like Jeff Smuda. We know that he's the Secretary of Corrections. We have the Secretary of Corrections designee, the Interstate Corrections Compact Coordinator, Donna Hook, couple correctional officers, the administration at Topeka Correctional Facility. Let's see. The facility administrator there, a first sergeant disciplinary administrator there, and yeah, that pretty much rounds it up. So she seeks injunctive relief to prevent continued violations and compensatory damages. It looks like, let me see, Larry Turner looks to be one of them's new. Larry Turner was in the original paperwork. So here's the discussion part of the lawsuit. Count 1, they're going to talk about her access to her attorney. So she alleged that she was denied court access when she was denied phone access to her attorney. She alleges that from August to December of 2023, she was denied access to the attorney. She has not sufficiently alleged that she was denied access to her attorneys for her criminal appeal in Colorado, although plaintiff claims that she was denied the ability to add her attorney to her calling list. The report shows she didn't follow proper procedure to add the attorney, which we talked about at the time. You got to do it the way they ask you to do it.
I mean, there seems to be a theme here, Tisha.
Yes. Oh, and we have calls coming, you guys. I think we're going to wait until this weekend, right, Jen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. It's been really heavy around here, and her trial in the murder case is heavy, but this stuff and some of the calls is not so heavy. It's a little easier to digest, I think.
Absolutely. I agree. Mm-hmm.
So the attorney completed the registration form in one day and it was approved the following day. The report provides that prior to this, no evidence has been found to support either party attempting to place a call to the other. In her response, plaintiff does not address the issue regarding phone access to her attorney. Plaintiff's claim regarding phone access to her attorney is dismissed for failure to state a claim. So, boom, that part dismissed.
Peace out.
Okay, now we got the law library. So plaintiff continues to claim that shortcomings at TCF's law library hindered her ability to pursue litigation in Colorado. She claims she doesn't have access to courts in Colorado. In her response, she alleged she did not have access to Colorado courts, case law, any resources outside of Kansas, nor the statutes. Then she states that she needs more She actually said.
She said statues. That's what she said.
Liberty statue or whatever.
Yes, statues. She needs more statues, not statutes.
Yeah.
Statues.
Like she can spell. We know she didn't spell it right, but okay. She also attaches her grievance in which she claims she needs more than Colorado statutes and needs access to the courts. The court advised her in the MOSC, what does that mean? Memorandum and Order. I don't know what that means. MOSC. What's my brain short? In one of the responses, but
yeah.
That her criminal appeal in Colorado is not accessible because it is suppressed. The court was also unable to access her case online and could only view the information on the case information document. The document, which was attached to the MOSC, provides that the case is suppressed and available only to case parties. The court found in that document that it appears the plaintiff would face the same challenge trying to access it online, including through Lexis at any facility. Because the case information document provides that the case is available only to parties, the court advised her to contact the appellate court or her attorney to determine how to gain access. The court found that in that document that although Letecia alleged in her complaint that she was representing herself in her criminal appeal, the case information document attached stated she was represented by Eric Samler and Hollis Whitson. The court found that providing legal counsel is a constitutionally acceptable alternative to a prisoner's demand to access a law library. So now that she has these attorneys, they don't have to give her access to this online, right? That's what they're saying here, basically.
Right. She has no reason, if she's not if she's not a party to any type of situation in the courts, be it criminal or civil, right? And if she has an attorney for her criminal appeal, which is the only thing she's got going right now, then she doesn't need a law library. There's no reason for her to have access to a law library just for this. She doesn't need it. That's the attorney's job. That's what appellate attorneys do.
Right. That's the whole point. And then it goes on to say, I want to read this last paragraph and then address a couple comments here, but it says that the court also determined that the sending state bears the burden of providing the required state legal materials. So if they don't send it, it's on that state, not on Kansas. I mean, anyone in Kansas. That's interesting. Preschool Granny, thank you for being a member for 17 months. She said, still here. Aw. Samantha Lewis, thank you for gifting a membership. That's really sweet. Oh, thank you for gifting 2 memberships. Girls Nana, thank you for being a member for 12 months. Thank you, ladies. And then Lariah, thank you for being a member for 4 months. My love to everyone. Thank you. Aww. Back at ya. You guys are sweet. Thank you, guys.
I kind of think also, Allie, that like when they do a prisoner transfer, I'm kind of interested in what they tell the prisoner that's being transferred, like how much notice do they give? Because I feel like they must give some notice. And why didn't Letecia talk about, I mean, you know, I don't know. Why didn't she ask, like, what's going to happen to my criminal case in Colorado? Or what's going to happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I have really big questions about the whole appeal process and why she didn't immediately get to that when she was still in Colorado for months. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like she did.
I almost am wondering now if, because we can't see it, but we know it's there, if maybe she did and we just weren't able to access it.
That's true. I didn't think about that. But yeah, because Lil Red has been like hounding Pacer of why it's just asking questions about it being suppressed. But yeah, maybe that's why we didn't know about it, because it's been suppressed since the beginning. Jennifer, I don't know if she's still friends with Amy. I'm not quite sure about that. And then, hey, Selena. Catherine says Landon and Albert need to sue her for the death of Gannon. They can do that, right? A civil suit, but what would that do?
Okay, so what happens is it's a wrongful death suit, okay? But each state has different statutes of limitations, not statutes, Leanne, statute of limitations on how long you have after the person is the person's death that you can actually file. So what it could do is, let's say Letecia decided for whatever reason she's going to sell her life rights. While the Son of Sam law does prevent criminals from benefiting from their crime, the Son of Sam law has also been overturned at a federal level. So it's sort of a gray area, and I think they're going to take it on a case-by-case basis. But let's just that example. So she sells her life rights, okay? And any money that she would make from that would be garnished and would go not to Letecia, but to Gannon but to Landon and Al. That's how that works.
Okay. So would it be worth their time to do it? I mean,
probably not, because you know, Al doesn't even want to. He's like, she didn't have to pay restitution on my behalf. Just let it go. You know what I mean? So he doesn't really want to have anything to do with her. And the fact of the matter is, if they were to do that, it would be yet another court case. Yep. And we see how Letecia behaves with court cases. And I think that, you know, it wouldn't be worth it. And quite honestly, you know, beyond like kind of making fun of her, really nobody has any actual interest in Letecia. She's not interesting. She's a monster.
Yeah, her mind and but yeah, she's a monster. I agree with you.
Yeah, but she needs to be studied like under lab conditions, not like a Lifetime movie or anything. That's not going to explain anything. We're not going to understand anything from that. So, you know, no, it just,
heinous. Not like a Lifetime movie.
No.
Well, okay, so pretty much if we look here at the last paragraph, it says a plaintiff in this case has named a defendant, Larry Turner, CDOC, designee, and Interstates Corrections Office. As noticed in Clayton, this claim should be brought in a court of proper venue. Plaintiff has, in fact, filed an action asserting a court access claim against Larry Turner.
Uh-oh. In the U.S. District Court in Colorado. She's already sued him. She's already tried to come after him. You cut out, babe. You cut out. So I just read it for you. That's okay. You cut out. We're good. We're all caught up.
So it's been dismissed, but this is that lawsuit that they reference here. If you look in the United States District Court for the District of Colorado, is that what's on the screen now? Because I tried. Okay. This is her new suit or her new complaint that was filed on October 21st. But we'll get into that. If we don't have time, we'll get into it at another time. But
jury trial requested no.
Yeah, I saw that. She's like, no.
Yeah. Hell no, I don't people good. At least you know your limits, Tisha.
Do you remember she in her case, like her murder trial, wasn't that talked about at one point that she was going to do that?
Yes, there was. She was trying to entertaining the possibility of a bench trial, and I think personally the results would have been the same because the preponderance of evidence that she was not anywhere in the vicinity of insane at the time that she committed the crime. I think it's not an incredibly her case. Some of these not guilty by reason of insanity cases are very complicated, and you, as a defendant, you might want a judge to be able to understand the subtleties, right, of the law. But in Letecia's case, I don't think it would have benefited her at all to have a bench trial because the judge would have seen exactly what the jury saw. Right. Her case isn't nearly as complex because there's so much clear evidence of her malingering. Now, for example, if Richard Allen had pled not guilty by reason of insanity, he might have wanted to go for a bench trial rather than have a jury trial because his is a little bit more complicated. So
interesting. Yeah, it's too bad we don't get to see that and we have to hear about it like we do. It's just such a shame, man. I'm really disappointed with that.
Me too. I really think that it would be an awesome thing if creators could go in together to purchase the transcripts because they're going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes, I mean, it's a good idea, but I think making it happen, you know, whenever people are involved, things just kind of get messed up. So it would be nice. It'd be a cool thing. It would be a cool thing to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, before we get into the legal mail claim and if that was dismissed or not, I want to say, just read a couple comments. Hey, Alana. Mimi's of Four says her and Looney Boone need to be roommates. Imagine that. Jennifer says, I wouldn't waste 2 cents on a book about her. Hey, Carolina, Nana Debbie. I'm glad that you're here.
Welcome in.
Welcome in. Rando says the Betty Rubble laugh, LOL. Who's that? Is that what she means by your laugh?
I don't know. Do I laugh like Betty Rubble? Maybe I do.
Like a compliment. So
Betty Rubble does have a cute laugh, though.
Carolina Nana says, Landon lives right up the road from me. Cool. Landon's really awesome. But yeah, we've been going through Letecia's phone calls. If you're new here, oh my gosh, we purchased her calls. If you remember that were played in the trial, the pretext calls, they weren't played in full. So we purchased those and have them on both of our channels, lots of other calls and all kinds of Letecia stuff. You'll have to check out all of the lives on my channel, and the lady on my panel, Jen, has the other half of them. And I want to drop your link. And then also I was going to ask Tess, will you do me a huge favor and click on Little Red and get her channel and drop that, because she found these documents for one, and I appreciate that so much. And also she's been posting like unedited files that she gets when she gets video files and stuff for free, because a lot of people are selling them. So I wanted to share that link too. Because I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Jen, coming up here with me all the time. And I appreciate Lil Red for getting us stuff. Hey, Cortland. Tess says, 2 years. Thank you for being a member. 24 months. Holy moly. 2 years with my ally. I'm so grateful to have found you, a creator who makes his ethics and facts flawlessly. Amazing community too. Love you, friend. Oh, Tess.
Oh, that's sweet of her.
And thank you for everything, Tess. I appreciate it so much. Working on a brand new one. All right. Hey, Mayla's mom. Hey, JoJo. Are you ready for legal mail? What do you think? Do you think the legal mail claims have been thrown out or not?
I think they should be thrown out if they were, and I think that they probably were.
Okay. Well, it'll be a guessing game. We'll see. Plaintiff also alleges in count 2, her legal mail to her attorney was confiscated. She claims her mail was tampered with from September 2023 until she filed her amended complaint. She claims she was forced to file a request to represent herself in her direct criminal appeal. She also claims that her legal mail was tampered with when the court presiding over her Colorado conditions of confinement action. Plaintiff also alleges that her mail to her Colorado attorneys has been confiscated by Dalton Hartpence, even in the presence of a sergeant.
I'm sorry. She's just crazy. She's just ridiculous and wasting time.
She is, and so intense, and everything is like the worst of the worst way it can be. So
yes, like they like people literally worldwide wake up and the first thought on their mind for the day is, before anything else, how can we mess up Tisha Lynn's day today? Yes. You are not that special, ma'am. Nobody cares. 95% of the shit ain't even happening to you. Stop it. Shut up, Tisha.
Exactly how she acts in here. Now, you know, I know there's a lot of other claims against the prison, but still, like this one even blew my mind when we read it. She claims that she's missing letters from attorneys and people are stealing her attorney mail. I just don't believe that.
Nobody cares, Tisha. Come on. This is all part of her. Okay, let me tell you who she reminds me of, like right now in doing all of this. She reminds me of Diane Downs, okay? Because Diane Downs, when she escaped prison, okay, and was on the run, when the parole board asked her about this whole situation of escaping and all this, that, and the third, do you know what she said? Well, I had to escape. Somebody had to find the real killers of my children, and he had been contacting me through the mail and through phone calls. So if the police, and I told the FBI, and if the police and the FBI were not going to go look for him, well, dadgummit, I was going to do it myself. Lies. She didn't go anywhere. She didn't look for the murderer of her children, because hello, it's her. But also, she was shacked up with one of her former cellies, man.
Which caused them to. She did that. I knew the case, but I didn't know she escaped like that.
Yes, she did. And after she shacked up with her former cellies man, the friendship door was closed. They ain't friends no more.
That was it.
That's it.
Lori, thank you for being a member 21 months. I appreciate you so much. And check out Lori's beard balm. Find her on Facebook. The Nightbot just dropped the info. Okay, so listen what they did here. This was kind of clever, Jen, because okay, so this is about her claiming she's missing these letters and all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they put, in dismissing her civil rights civil rights case against El Paso County, the U.S. District Court in Colorado stated that the court received a letter from plaintiff on March 4th. So they include like something out of that case and explain all of her bullshit that she put in there about her not receiving mail and things like that. So they're basically saying, we see you've done this before, lady, and we're not falling for it at all. Well, actually, they did say the court finds the plaintiff's claim regarding her mail and count 3 survives screening.
Hold on, scroll back up a little bit. Hold on. The court, the letter, stop right there. Well, she explained, no, stop. Explained her difficulties receiving mail. Importantly, she acknowledged but did not respond to it as ordered. So why would they keep this? I don't understand it.
I don't know, but it's interesting. They're like, we've seen you've done this before. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It goes on here. But you know, when you tell me to stop scrolling, it's like delayed. I'm already like 20 seconds ahead. So just remember that, because that's why.
Oh, yeah. No, I won't be. Stop.
Yeah. Like,
My bad.
Apparently, they said that something was undeliverable to the plaintiff. They had to resend something. But regardless, they are watching, keeping up with what happens there and everything she's claimed. Yeah, they are paying close attention to. And I think that's so interesting and good. Because
you know what? Yeah, they should. Okay, look, it could be something simple like with Boone. All right. So when Boone was representing herself, the court was mailing her the orders. Like she was mailed the June 28th, 2024 orders. And what was the issue is the address. While it's technically the same building, there's a specific way to address legal mail, and it needs to be sent to like a specific part of the jail, I guess, was the issue. But they got it all fixed and everything. And I wonder if that's probably what was going on.
Something like that, yeah.
You know, something not intentional, Tisha.
Right, but just happens to be a flaw in the way things are ran.
Yeah.
But interesting. Okay, so we're about to get into the conditions at the prison, the mold.
Oh, here we go. The cruel and unusual punishment. Okay, Tisha.
Yeah, but let me say hello just for a second to Melissa and to B Crumbs and Hippie Chick. Good to see
girls.
You. Okay, so count 2, conditions at Topeka Correctional Facility. So she alleges cruel and unusual punishment and deliberate indifference to her health and safety. We have the exposure to toxins from sewage leaks that cause waste to return into cells 2 times a week, inoperable sinks that do not have hot water, obvious signs of mold leading to medical issues, exposure to contaminated water when they had this boiled water thing, leaking windows, rain, wind, vermin. The court noted in the memorandum and order 2 that the report shows no sewage backups have been observed in any of their cells, including all 10 that she's been in. It also said that, hold on, let's see. She mentioned sewage leaks leaks. I keep saying links into their thing, but in the order that wasn't true.
Okay, scroll back up a little bit because I just want to point something out, please.
Okay.
All right. So right there.
Okay.
Plaintiff does not specify instance where raw sewage was actually present in her cell and mentions exposure to fumes. She mentioned sewage leak that causes the waste to return to our cells, including other inmates, feces, waste, etc., causing me to breathe in those fumes, including gray water. Basically, what Letecia is doing is complaining about something that's not actually happening to her. She's just in the vicinity of it and therefore exposed.
Oh my God. She also claims that she has no cleaning supplies, which in the Martinez report They said that is not true. She also makes the bald conclusion that ICH does not have adequate ventilation. The report states that TCF has contracted with this certain company that maintains their air quality and ventilation systems. Let's see. She claims windows leak. The report states no evidence of window leaks, mold, or vermin have been found.
Now, Tisha's a dadgum built engineer. She knows how to, properly see if ventilation is correct, if there's leaks in windows all over the facility. Shut up, Tisha.
Remember this part. Listen. Regarding mold, she makes an unsupported allegation that obvious signs of mold. But the report shows the only document in which the plaintiff mentions mold is in a grievance. But it goes on to say that TCF's maintenance department investigates all claims of mold and has not identified any species of mold in her cell or her previous cells.
Tisha, you're the mold.
That's you. Plaintiff alleges no one has tested any of the cells. Oh, yeah. After the report came out, she was like, wait a minute. No one has tested any of the cells. How do they know? Then the hot water claim. Hot water is available in all TCF sinks and showers, though it may take a few seconds to be available. As for the day of the water advisory, the report states the water advisory on June 14th was specifically directed at the Metro Topeka Airport Authority in Shawnee County Royal Water District 1C, and out of an abundance of caution, steps were taken to prevent any risk to residents' health. To ensure each resident was aware of the advisory, including residents that did not have tablet access, unit teams followed up the electronic notice with a verbal notice. They also gave them water bottles.
Did they draw pictures? Tisha didn't get a picture. That's not sufficient notice.
She definitely took note of that too. No, I didn't get a picture that day describing exactly how.
And exactly what the issue was. Yeah. Because, Tisha is a high-ranking official. She needs to know all the things all the time. She should be included in all the prison decisions.
Every conversation, yeah. Then, okay, so they note the statements. Remember, she attached those statements from the other inmates. One of the inmates states that when she told her floor officer about the Boyle advisory, he was unaware of it. Plaintiff also claims food isn't prepared. The report acknowledges food is sometimes cold, and this is a temporary result of the kitchen renovations. Let's see. So I'm thinking, do you think this will be thrown out or not? You said you think it should.
Yeah, I think it should be thrown out, and probably will, because she doesn't give it. It's all ridiculous.
So the court granted her an opportunity to respond to the report and show good cause why her claims regarding these conditions should not be dismissed. Plaintiff either failed to respond regarding certain conditions or responded with bald conclusions that lack any specific factual support. You don't think?
You're on her. Let me put on my Dick Harpootlian voice. Your Honor.
You sound like you just walked right out of right down the road from me. Like this Carolina accent is spot on.
Thank you.
Plaintiff has failed to show good cause why her claims in count 2 regarding her conditions of confinement should not be dismissed for failure to state a claim. So basically dismissed, right? Because we gave her an opportunity to show good cause, and now they say she has failed to show good cause.
Right, because Letecia fundamentally cannot follow directions, but she's the smartest person in every room. Okay. Yeah. Sure, Jan.
Oh, God, I almost forgot about how ridiculous all of her claims were. Hey, Lisa. Hey, you guys coming in because I'm not able to watch chat and flip through these pages and really pay attention. I mean, I can, but it's harder to really focus. But okay, now we're into count 2 medical care. Now, listen. Plaintiff claims there is an, quote, an increasing risk that her hand will never be restored to its full usefulness.
Look, ma'am, nothing about you is useful. So why should your hand be any different?
Oh, and she has potential nerve damage. Oh God, Tisha.
Think of all the damaged nerves you caused when we had to listen to your pretext calls. Okay.
For real. So the court found in the memorandum and order, she failed to show that a named defendant disregarded an excessive risk to her health or safety, or that they were both aware of facts from which the inference could be drawn that a substantial risk of serious harm existed. The court noted the only healthcare provider she names in her amended complaint is Centurion, and found that her allegation that the relevant policy is Centurion substandard care fails to show the type of policy warranting imposition of liability. She has failed to allege a former statement by the company or a persistent, well-settled practice. They say plaintiff does not address her medical care in her response. Oh, the court found that plaintiff's medical claim in count 2 is likewise dismissed.
Well, I'll be. Uh-oh. Here's Letecia's favorite, retaliation.
Yeah. So she made a PREA report that her job as a porter was taken away because she reported that she was being sexually harassed and assaulted. She claims that she received a disciplinary report for failing to go to work on the day of her PREA investigation. The court found in the memorandum and order 2 that plaintiff has not shown that the DR and the loss of her job would have not occurred but for a retaliatory motive. Plaintiff was found not guilty at her disciplinary hearing, and the warden's response indicates that plaintiff was removed from her job based on identified risk as well as safety and security concerns.
Yes, mainly Letecia's. They're looking out for her safety and security. Shut up, Tisha.
Exactly.
Take your unuseful self along with your now unuseful hand and sit down somewhere and be quiet.
So they directed her to show good cause at why this shouldn't be dismissed. When she responded, she didn't even address the retaliation. So therefore, it has been dismissed. Now, safety. Oh God, when I was looking through these last night I think it was yesterday, I was like, how dare you say, okay, let me just read this first paragraph and you'll see what I'm talking about. Plaintiff alleges in count 2, she has the right to be reasonably safe. She claims she is not attempting to dictate where she is housed, but
Right.
she has the right to be reasonably safe and similarly situated.
Yes, you're in there with murders just like you. The end.
Exactly. She claims defendants disregarded an excessive risk of serious harm by housing her around institutional violent offenders.
You're an institutional violent offender. Dismissed.
Like, dude.
Right.
She says that the prison officials have she claims a constitutional violation where prison officials place a prisoner in a situation of danger from others who are known to be aggressive and institutionally violent. And she is not similarly situated, and she is she is as a class of 1 being treated differently. Bullshit.
Look here, Tisha Lynn. Now, I know that you like to pick on children who cannot defend themselves against you, but now you up in a big house with the big girls, okay?
Yep.
And you're exactly where you belong.
Yep. Completely agree. And I'm sorry, similarly situated, that's what you are when you're with violent offenders. The court dismissed any claim regarding her security classification and housing.
Denied.
Let's see if they denied it all. Oh, let's see. Plaintiff's failure to protect and equal protection claims based on safety are dismissed for failure to state a claim.
I mean, whatever. You can't, like, Letecia. Never mind. I'm not going to help you. Never mind. Forget it.
Not giving you any ideas.
Hell no. Look, you do your own homework. On your own paper, ho.
Then she does her religious freedoms claim.
Oh, here we go.
Freedom of religion. she makes all these claims that she's not being allowed to practice the religion she wants. And also they treat the males differently. And the jail responds that all residents have equal access and involvement in religious services, regardless of sex or gender. The report provides that residents are not able to choose more than one religion, which she tried to do because she wanted food, but she wanted to go to Christian, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
She wanted to be, get Jewish food, or I forget
Kosher.
Kosher. Thank you. So the court ordered her to show good cause why her equal protection claim should not be dismissed. In her response, plaintiff merely states that the chaplain did make a statement that male inmates do not face the same challenges regarding Jewish services. Plaintiff has failed to show good cause why her equal protection claim in count 3 should not be dismissed for failure to state a claim. So, sorry. Dismissed.
Bye.
And then here is that damn tablet.
Oh, God. Tisha.
Remember, she sold her sweatpants and she got in trouble for it and lost her tablet. She tried to say that this was retaliation, which it wasn't. They show exactly
retaliation,
what happened.
punishment, consequences for breaking a rule, tomato. Come on, Tisha.
Yeah, plaintiff's tablet was confiscated when the prison became aware she had sold a pair of her sweatpants on eBay through a third party for $200. The DR for the violation was issued February 15th. The court found in the MOSC that if she was using her tablet to process online orders, this could be the rationale for the 10-day restriction on the use of the tablet.
All right, already. Strike that right this minute. The word rational was in there.
Yeah.
Okay. We're dealing with Tisha.
Yeah. So basically, it says instead of an attempt to prevent her from filing grievances, she tried to say they took it so she couldn't, out of retaliation, and so she couldn't file more grievances. When she didn't mention I got busted selling my fucking sweaty, nasty prison sweatpants.
Right. That don't even belong to me. They belong to the prison, but okay. So now I'm trafficking in stolen goods.
Oh,
dumbass.
My God. So
she didn't catch a charge.
Ooh. She also asked the court to, I forgot about this, to consider her transfer. That's why the interstate compact is part of it, right? Because she's saying he was transferred to Kansas from Colorado as a retaliatory thing.
Everything is retaliation. Everything. They stuck her in a cell that had obvious signs of mold, retaliation. Backed up sewer lines because people are toilet talking, obvious retaliation. It's all retaliation. All the things.
Michelle, we don't know. Somebody, though. Hey, Amy J. All Grateful. Yes, we love Miss Melissa Jade over here. Okay, so the last part of this. She failed to show that the transfer to Kansas would not have occurred but for a retaliatory motive. The court ordered her to show good cause while her retaliation claim should not be dismissed for failure to state a claim. She fails to address retaliation in her response. Her retaliation claim in count 4 is dismissed for failure to state a claim. Here's the conclusion. You ready?
Yes.
The court finds that plaintiff's court access claim in count 1, based on her legal mail, survives screening. Plaintiff names the following defendants in this claim: Chavez, Hook, Zmuda, and Hartpins. Plaintiff's 8th Amendment claim in count 2, based on SA and her corresponding claim that staff failed to protect her from her abuser, survives screening. She names the following defendants in those claims. The court also finds her First Amendment claim that alleging a violation of the Free Exercise Clause survives screening. She names the following defendants. All other claims and defendants are dismissed. The court's M&O provides that if the amended complaint survives screening, the court will enter a separate order serving the remaining defendants. Therefore, the court will enter a separate service order for service on Zmuda, Haltis, Hook, Diedrich, Hartpins, and Chavez. It is therefore ordered by the court the following claim survives screening. Her court access claim in count 1 on legal mail, plaintiff's Eighth Amendment claim in count 2 about the SA and failure to protect her from her abuser, and then the free exercise clause. It is further ordered all other claims are dismissed for failure to state a claim. It is ordered plaintiff's claims against Turner and Van Dyke are dismissed, and it is so ordered. So it's not completely dismissed, and then the service order at the end, but it's not completely dismissed. Most of it is, but survive screening. So what does that mean, Jen? Like, what is after that? They have a trial?
Let's see. Hold on. Well, yeah. No. They would start preparing for a trial. So then there would be discovery, deposition, stuff like that. That would be next.
Well, that's going to be very interesting. I hope we have access to their depositions and stuff. We will, right? Like their statements? Or no, until trial?
We probably will. It's civil.
I really hope we do. All right, I'm going to drop Bendy's link again. I want you guys to go check it out. Please check out her channel. Oh, I just clapped really loud. Sorry. And, speaking of Melissa, she's doing some weight stuff tonight at like 7. And Jen, do you have anything tonight?
Not tonight. I want to finish up the conjuring thing, but I forgot to tell everybody yesterday that I did watch the behavior panel do their assessment of Sarah's cross-examination during her trial. I think we need a roast.
Ooh. Well, let's do it. I know people love it. I love it. Yeah, everybody loves your roast, even if they don't watch a lot of true crime or anything. You know what I mean? People that are in the other communities close to us. Let's see. My mom was calling. Sorry.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I think she's just saying
dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So then we'll go over the other claim. I don't think we should read through it today because it's got one of the same defendants, but it's a new complaint and it's 26 pages and it's handwritten Tisha accusation.
Oh God.
Yeah, a lot of it. See, so we're gonna have to read through all of her stuff. See, oh my goodness, mailed on. So this was just filed a new complaint. She mailed out on the 14th. It was filed on the 21st, actually right before this order we just read. But it's all new stuff, but probably some of the same because remember it said she had to file new things. This isn't that though. It's got one new defendant, but I don't know. I haven't read through it all. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Hey, isn't she also asking to go back to Colorado or no? Did I imagine that in my brain?
No, it seems like that's what it is. I don't know if she directly asked or if because even Little Red today, when I was asking her about a couple things in the documents, one of the guy's names on the new claim, I was like, wait, is that her appellate attorney? I thought it was at first, but it's not. But anyways, about when I messaged her, she's like, said something like that too. So I think it's either said outright, and I don't remember exactly, or if it's heavily implied and we kind of jump to that conclusion. But she's saying that she's in danger in Kansas. She doesn't have access to the courts in Colorado at all. And she's suing the Interstate Compact, the people who did the deal to ship her. So
please highlight MK's comment.
Where's it at? How many fonts have I know? She does.
One for each personality, MK Leanne. Now, don't get sassy. Okay, so the First Amendment about the practice, the right to practice clause or free exercise clause, basically is that while she should be allowed, we are allowed, all right, as citizens of these United States to practice our religion any way that we see fit, as long as it doesn't run afoul of public morals or like laws, or you just can't be, It's okay. The free exercise clause protects citizens' right to practice their religion as they please, so long as the practice does not run afoul of a public morals or a compelling governmental interest. So basically, the argument I think Letecia is trying to make is I can be Jewish, but also practice some and attend services of the Christian faith. That's what she's arguing. I can do both.
Right. Interesting. Well,
I know the answer to this. Do you?
Isn't it? I think so. To get rid of I didn't watch it, but I just read to get rid of the death penalty.
Yes.
Try to get rid of the death penalty. I cannot wait for that trial. There is one thing on this new paperwork I got to show you. So it's two people that are that are employees of the state. Okay, the interstate corrections. They're part of the ICC, Interstate Compact Supervisor. But look what she writes here. Hold on. At the time, so defendant 2, Joseph Solomon. At the time this complaint arose, was the defendant acting under the color of state or federal law? And she writes state official / actor, like he's an actor. That's not right? She's
hold on.
acting under color or state federal law, state official / actor. Is that the correct way to say that? Because I don't know. Maybe I'm.
Okay, she's trying to answer the question. Okay, so was this person acting in an official capacity? And Letecia is saying yes, she was, and he's an actor in an official capacity.
Right.
What she actually should have written there is exactly what it is, that yes, he's a state official.
Right. And so that doesn't, I didn't think that was right. Like, I get what she's trying to say in a way, but I think she's also always like trying to twist things a little bit and make, I don't know.
Correct. Well, see, what Letecia likes to do is, now remember, she's still in the midst of a criminal appeal. Okay. And her criminal appeal is going to hinge on this whole not guilty by reason of insanity. You know, Maria Sanchez, Taylor, Letecia, Nas, I don't know, whatever the name she went under. All those people, right? All the personalities. So she can't come off all the way sane. She got to throw a little. So right here, state official actor.
Right.
Both ways, right? He's pretending, she doesn't, so that's what, CYA move, y'all.
Yeah. That makes complete sense, actually, now that you say it. Well, I mean, Jennifer, I gotta say, feeling pretty good about my handwriting right about now, and I'm left-handed. Which tonight Saturday night or Friday night, we're gonna be jumping back into the calls. Do we get any with Ain't B? Sorry for the truck.
No, Ain't B, but we do have some juicy things, and we do have a resolution to a question that y'all have been having for a while, and I'm going to leave it there. Please highlight MK Lynn. Look what he's doing again. MK, I'm trying to pay attention to what is going on here. And you're doing these things in the chat.
That's funny. Natasha says, same. I'm over T-shirts, but I show up to support Allie and MJ when I can. Don't do JSP, though. MJ covers more phone calls. That's another reason why. What would Bikram say? Something they're over T-shirt. Well, we are too in ways, but also like the calls, for instance. Why would we not put them out when we paid for them, And we would ask you guys, and y'all still wanted to hear them. But what do you think about that, Jen? Are you sick of Tisha yet? Or hey, Shane, good to see you. Look who it is, Jen.
Hey, Shane, good to see you. Okay, here's the deal. There are some lingering questions that I have that have absolutely nothing to do with like her actual trial or her charges or anything. Okay. So part of me, yes, like I do get annoyed and I do get irritated with some of the stuff. right? And I feel like, oh God, I can't hear not one more Amy call. No more Amy, right? But oh, but at the end of the day, like there are some questions that I still have about some things that Letecia said on these calls. And so I'm like, I know I'm never going to get them explained, but as long as you guys want to hear it, I'll keep doing it for you. I want to put out content that you guys want to hear.
Yeah,
So.
I agree. Well, it looks like, well, I was wrong. I understood her comment wrong, but I still appreciate you being here, Natasha. But Michelle says I'm not over it and making fun of that hussy will never get hold. I enjoy the Letecia. We want it all. Michelle said I have missed Letecia. Jim says over Tisha, if I'm honest. I'll never be over it. So it's kind of mixed, but okay. Well, so Wade, I am interested in just because I don't watch it anywhere else but Melissa. So I like hearing her. Yeah. But as far as talking about it, there are a couple things that I still like want to hear from Tisha, things we've talked about before. And also I'm interested in the lawsuits just because like I want to see what happens. Is it possible she will get sent back to Colorado? What do you think?
Well, it is possible, I think, and here's why. Because remember, we forgot about this other part of this lawsuit that she's doing currently, right? And she is the jailhouse legal advisor for the other inmates who have also they're attempting to do a class action lawsuit. And so I do think there's a good chance that Letecia is going to get moved, and here's why. For no other reason than you're about to learn all about retaliation when these women who you're locked up in there with, similarly situated, find out that you have been blowing smoke and you don't know what you're talking about at all. And once they figure that out, you're about to find out what retaliation is really about. And I do think that that's probably why they will move her.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Well, I don't know. I forgot all about that aspect of it because that's another reason I'm interested. Like you have all these other inmates. She's the jailhouse lawyer for civil suits. They have similar claims. There's inmates that have like said that bad things are happening at Topeka Correctional Facility specifically for a while and really bad things. So I am interested to see kind of what happens with that too. And
me too. Me too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just I was gonna say about like her getting transferred. Part of me kind of wants her to go back to Colorado because everyone knows what she's done there. I know that sounds awful, but
I think
feels that way.
Well, yeah, and here's the other thing too. Okay, Letecia does have a history of lying about SA. Okay, however. There is a very definite and dangerous power dynamic that exists between the inmates and the staff in prison. Okay. And there are situations where inmates are SA'd, male and female, by the officers, and they don't have a way. There's nowhere to turn because, of the situation and the circumstances, because the officers all work together, and they all work together in when they're doing it correctly in the capacity that they need to be a team, because if they don't present a united front to the prisoners, then it's a security risk. Okay. But there are people that are in positions of power like that are not good people and that fully take advantage of that. That is unacceptable, even for Letecia. And so, and I will say this as well, even if it is a quote unquote relationship, a consensual relationship between an inmate and a guard, it's still against the rules and can't always, and it can't be consensual in that a power dynamic exists.
It's just like it, honestly, just like a child and an adult. If they're even if they're 16 and they think they're consenting, they
Correct.
cannot. They can't
Correct.
consent. But yeah, she did. I don't know. What does that do? That only proves her case if they bring, you know what I mean? It only shows that maybe she, I don't know. I just, maybe
It's not,
that's
I'll
why
tell
she
you,
did it.
there exactly. There's what it. So see, this is another example of Letecia doing what she'll probably say is that, yes, that text came from her phone or her tablet or whatever it is, right? But it wasn't actually Tisha who was texting. Doesn't she have one of her personalities that's a little loosey goosey?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that's what she'll say.
yes.
So at the end of the day, what she'll say is, this officer took advantage of me. I was not, in my right mind. It's all a ploy, if it even happened at all. But it will have to be looked into. Okay, I see people asking about the Sarah Boone calls.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to order Sarah's calls, and here's why. I'm hesitant because I know a lot of the calls are going to be between her son and her, and I don't want to put those out.
Yeah.
I think that there's some things just for I'm not judging anybody else who gets the calls and puts them out. That's my name's Paul, and that's between y'all. But for my channel, I feel her son. I feel he's still a minor and he's at a vulnerable age and stage in life where, kids can be the cruelest. And to have those calls put out, I worry that I would be, I don't know, somehow inviting taunting or bullying on him. And I just don't want to do that. I worry about that.
Yeah.
And the problem is I would have okay, so what will happen is I would request the calls, right? And they would give me 30 days worth, right? So let's say they charge me $250 for those calls. Okay. But I can only play 3 of them because the rest of them are with her son. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I have to think about it. Let me think about it.
Okay, so a couple things. The death penalty being abolished, it was right before her. It actually, she would have still fallen in the brackets where she could have technically been sentenced to it because it was up until like June of 20.
Uh-oh, babe, you cut out.
Damn it, I cut out. I had a glitch, and I don't know what you guys heard. The death penalty.
The death penalty, yeah. Something about you started out June 2023. That's all I heard.
Okay, so it was abolished in March of 2020, but they actually had, it was any crimes that fell like up until June of 2020 that were committed before June. But I will say that they had a couple, I think 3 death row inmates, and they, like, what do you call that when they make
commuted?
Yes, to life sentences. But Henry says, a few years ago she could have been put to death, but now, it makes no sense. You're saying it's wrong for her to be essayed. But the point is like, if there's it's wrong for anyone to, right, at the end of the day. But if there's a guard at a jail that is doing that to inmates, it's not just her. There are a lot of inmates. There are some inmates there for nonviolent crimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you always have to keep that in mind. Jim says, Sarah Boone calls would be wild. I definitely wouldn't want to hear her speaking to her son, but other people most definitely. Wonder if she has any friends.
Well, she definitely has one that was in the court that day. She was on the stand. Okay, so yes, those call records, those are video visits. That's different. So I can see from the video visit list, right, who she's speaking to, and I can order those specific video visits. It's very different though when you're talking about calls.
Ooh, that would be cool. Okay, so I think Lori and Chad's calls also test would be fascinating, and you guys like talking about how funny Melissa is. Melissa's funny like that on any subject. That's what makes it interesting. I think the way subject is interesting, anyways, with her and Tess, like going back and forth. But she always makes it funny. Like you're always funny. You guys are just. Man, I got some funny friends.
You're funny too. What are you talking about? Are we going to just dance around? Speaking of Lori, are we just all going to just not even mention that Lori's out here trying to represent herself?
Yeah. Oh God.
Idiot.
My God.
Let her. Just let her. Just
And
let her.
then-
And here's the other thing with Letecia too.
Good.
Okay. So even though the crime that she committed at the time when the crime was committed would have made her death row eligible, death penalty eligible. At the same time, this is why I think the state of Colorado didn't seek it for her. Because remember, when you go through the docket, how many times she had to be tested for competency. Now, that can come up later in appeals. Okay. So I think that the state did the right thing, in my opinion, by not seeking the death penalty, even if they could.
Right. I agree with you. And okay, I want to show like what I found, like the date. For sure it was June, but first I just want to address Griffey Bear, who says, my mom went to prison when I was 15. I had to hear for several years until she was released the amount of essays she endured by both sexes. And I am so sorry, Griffey Bear. I know that would have been, I just can't imagine how difficult that would have been to know your mom was experiencing, hear it from your mom, nothing you can do about it. I'm just so sorry. And thank you for sharing, because you don't have to share that stuff here. And
no, you don't. You don't. And but that's my point. And I know that, look, what Letecia did is horrendous. Okay. But if I were to sit up here and say, well, you know, look what she did, she deserves whatever she gets. To me, it's more indicative of a systemic issue that's going on inside of the prison, if that is happening to her by guards, right? Or other inmates, then it's likely happening to other inmates too. And to me, I just feel like, I don't know, it just feels wrong to me. You know, she's there to be punished.
Yeah.
You know, but we're not paying guards to essay her. Just, I mean, you know, it just, there's something, it just feels wrong to me. And I don't really know how to explain it correctly, but that's,
I agree.
It feels wrong.
I totally agree. And like you said, they're getting paid to be there.
Yeah.
It just would be, Okay, so on March 23rd, 2020, Colorado became the 22nd state to abolish the death penalty. For the second time, actually. It was abolished in the 1800s or a long time ago, and brought back in the 70s. But I don't see that exact dates on here. I just a roundabout, but on those dates. But Colorado's new law applies to cases criminally charged on or after July 1st, 2020. So, creating the possibility that new death sentences could still be imposed in pending capital cases in Adams and El Paso counties. Hers could have certainly been one. They just chose not to.
Right. And that's another thing. So, okay, a lot goes into when they decide to seek the death penalty. Okay. Obviously, there's, you know, the heinousness and the brutality, et cetera, of the crime are part of it. But when you seek the death penalty, it's a different sort of process when you are doing jury selection. And so the fact is that it isn't, juries don't like to sentence women to death. They do it, but it's very rare.
I didn't know that. Interesting. Emily, thank you for being a member 7 months. She said, I love when you two talk, Tisha. It's the best. And last question before I go eat dinner. Jen, if she was moved back, would you want to get her calls?
Hell yeah.
We good.
Of course I would. Of course I would. I don't know who the hell she'd be calling. Oh my God. Can you imagine? It'd be all Ain't Me all the time. Listen, Tisha, baby. You look humongous on that TV screen, Shug. Huge.
Yeah,
Remember
your
all
daddy
them phone calls you told me
huge.
you were starving to death, remember, and you weren't eating for days and days and days. All you was having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner was air. I can't tell. By the way, your mugshot from prison, they included the size of your jumpsuit. It says 2XL. That don't sound like that don't sound like wasting away to practically nothing to me.
Michelle says Eileen got the death penalty. Yeah, but she was, killed several people. But yeah, you're right.
She was a serial killer, but there's issues there too. And the irony of all of that with Eileen Wuornos is she wanted to stop her appeals, okay, and just go ahead and get to the sentencing, get to the actual sentence being carried out. And what did they have to do? They had to make sure that she was competent to even decide that she wanted to stop her appeals. So if they had to do that, then she should have also not been sentenced to death, because under the Constitution of the United States, the Supreme Court has ruled that we don't execute people like Eileen. And at the end, she definitely, and I think all throughout the trial and everything else, she had absolute mental health issues. It's not an excuse. It's not a justification, but her case is kind of complex too.
Yeah. Henry says, thank you for explaining the nuances of the death penalty in the U.S. My comment, if USA believes in the death penalty, then I do not understand why the facts of Letecia's case are not a textbook case. Henry, I'm with you. If anybody is going to be put to death, someone who hurts a child in the way she did, not only did she do it once, but she did it 3 times.
Yes, she did.
Tortured him, and then she lied and tortured his parents.
Yes,
she is evil. And even though it's funny and all laughs like her claims and her bullshit, I never want to forget that.
Her crime would be an excellent reason to give somebody the death penalty. But conversely, when you are sentenced to death and you receive, you get automatic appeals that take, sometimes it depends on the system, depends on the state, forever and a day. In fact, there are some states, and if you receive the death penalty, you're actually more likely to die of old age or some accident or unaliving in prison than to actually have your sentence carried out. And Letecia is a person who is known to use the legal system to continue to inflict pain and suffering on the victim's family, i.e., Al and Landon. And I think that's another reason why they didn't exercise their right to seek the death penalty.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'm going to go eat. And Jen, right. I'm so thankful you joined me for this. I was going to try to read through. My first idea was, let me just try to read through them quick and then bring you up. And then I thought it'd be better to discuss it and just read the main points. We really know all of her claims. So I don't know. I'm glad we did it this way because I enjoyed the conversation so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think I have to say, I've been doing a lot better about staying on task.
Hey, we
stayed on task the whole time. We didn't go off in the week about no other subjects.
Exactly. I agree.
Might have read Letecia for filth just a little bit, but we stayed on task. We read her for filth on the subject at hand, which is this crazy ass filing that she just did.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And you guys, if you haven't checked out Jen's channel, please check it out, especially you guys that had said, the couple people that were new here, a lot of our conversations on Tecia, a lot of calls that are nowhere else, that don't exist anywhere else online. The pretext calls only exist on our channels, and we don't have repeats. So you'll find something different with each one. They weren't played in court. I think you'll really enjoy it. Go check out her channel. And also I'm going to drop Melissa's too, because she's about to go live in a little bit.
Yes.
And then, and mods, you guys can drop any that you might want to or whatever. And thank you again to Little Red for getting that for us. And Yeah. Thank you, Jen. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, you guys.
There's a lot of, there's several cases that aren't really being talked about that much. I want to talk about. And then there's some other things that I think are more well-known I want to talk about. But I'm going to be on Real Talk with Alex in the coming days to talk about what's happening to our ocean animals, because I am just disgusted and I keep falling down rabbit holes about animals held in captivity.
Oh, it breaks my heart.
I can't take it. I know that maybe my little channel and my little voice will probably mean nothing to anybody. But then again, like if I don't use it, then I'll just be so, I have to do it. I just have to do it.
What is Little Red talking about? The Texas case.
Yeah. A case, and a more unknown case.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right.
There's a few actually, but
I've been watching a few. I've been keeping up with some cases that have made it to the news. I'm trying to figure out what our next trial should be.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, Real Talk with Amy. Absolutely. Yes. That's the one.
Real Talk with Amy, exactly. And then Girls Nana, maybe I can get back to that like soon, like tomorrow. We will see. So stay tuned to make sure your notifications are on. Thank you again, Jen. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you too. I will definitely be there for your ocean talk, because this is something she and I have talked about, and we feel very strongly about this.
Yep. We really have, Jen, or we really have privately talked about it, and both. Yeah. So it, like Natasha says, as much as I don't want to hear it, I also do, because of the awareness it brings. Oh my God, you guys, the last thing I'll say about it is whales will self-harm because they are alone and depressed and left in these little tanks, banging their heads against the tank. And it's just so sad. I cannot get over it.
It breaks my heart every time. I can't even.
Yeah, it's awful. Oh, Music City, thank you for gifting a membership. I only have 2 mods over there, so hopefully it'll be fine, because over there I tried to split them up. Oh, I need to add Foxy, so I have 3 actually. Foxy, Music City, and Lil Red. That's perfect. All right, so you guys don't be surprised that you don't have a wrench there anymore if you did, because it's different now. But anyways, not important. I'll talk to you guys later. Good night. Thank you for
everything. Bye, you guys. Good night.
Bye.